Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where I am attempting to solve a murder mystery, which, much like any mystery story, appears to be getting more complicated the more I investigate it, to put things mildly. When we left off last week, I had just sent my partner Kim away temporarily to deliver the body of the murder victim to the precinct morgue, I guess is the correct word. In any case, it's being sent to processing or the morgue or both, and I no longer have the joy of Kim's company for the rest of this day, which I promptly then used to sell off all the trash that I'd been picking up and take a bath in order to wash away the stink of a dead body, since Kim and I had been hauling it around quite a bit. And also, where I left off last week was attempting to decide where to spend the skill point that I'd gotten. And that has been a very difficult time of it. However, I did finally manage to come to a conclusion on that. So we will dive right back into the game here. Here I am in the hotel room that I trashed myself, and I had just taken care of the wash off the stink of the dead body quest, which is why we have the exclamation point on done, and it's nice to actually finish quests instead of just accumulate them. I have accumulated so many. And we have an exclamation point on get the whole story from Titus, because, as I said, this murder mystery just keeps getting more complicated the more that I investigate it. Hardy and the boys know the whole story. It'll be difficult to get it out of them. Have you thoroughly inspected the body, looked around for a witness, gotten friendly with the union boss and the company rep? Really gotten to Clashy? Convince the Hardy boys to tell you the whole story. Currently, this quest is sitting on a rhetoric check. And sadly, my rhetoric, well, alright, was just not quite good enough. But it was very close. However, my decision has actually been to spend the point in Half-Light in an attempt to continue the investigation into the drug running that is being done out of the harbor, so that I can actually get the evidence from the White Pines lady over on her boat. At least, that's the idea. Possibly this getting more information will unlock the check with Hardy again. That is what I'm hoping, anyway. There is a temptation to put the point in perception again, just to try to see what the heck it is through that window, but when it comes down to it, I've already leveled up perception, I think 2, maybe 3 times in a row, trying to make it through that check, and yeah, it's at 7. So I'm going to try to go for the drug bust instead. So I decided to spend the point on Half-Life in the hopes of making it through the challenge on the racist lorry driver tomorrow. Games tomorrow, not my tomorrow. Once Kim has returned. So, Half-Light it is. Here we go. My physique is not great, but maybe with a Half-Light of 4, in any case, the decision has been made, and the map has now been updated with all of my new check possibilities. Now that I spent that point. There was temptation also to spend the point on a thought, but while I am very curious to remember my character's birthday, I don't know that it's actually the right way to spend a point at this time. I mean, if any of these thoughts are not actually giving me any bonus. Let's see. All endurance white checks are unlocked. That's a pretty good one. This one, the pain threshold has been raised, and it raised my psyche as well. This one raised my perceptions, so darn right I'm keeping that one. And this one, well, it gave me a lot of morale points, which I have definitely needed, so I can't forget that one either, so alas, I will not be having another thought anytime soon. I can only hold 4. It'll have to do. So we'll just save on that. And then we'll have a sleep, and it will be the game's Wednesday, which will open up an entire section of the map. And Kim will return. I already miss Kim, and he's only been gone for, a week of my time. Maybe that is a long time to miss someone. The bed is still cold from the broken window and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. All right.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Now the bed is talking to me.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Thank you, limbic system. That wasn't creepy at all.
You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
Well...
But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that will come out of it. Perhaps even a story that you will write yourself.
These are my just desserts. I will endure this pain with dignity. Hey, what is this? I was on the express to Zero Home? I'm an artist and liver damage is my art. I think I need medical attention. I am fairly certain that the way that I've been playing this character is that we will attempt to endure the pain with dignity.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. Flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror. But why? To admire all your accomplishments?
I I'm mean to me in my sleep.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Just get me out of here then, back to the other place. I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them. Or human beings will always betray you. I'm looking at people all the time.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets.
Okay, yes.
People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
I'd ask what's wrong with my limbic system, but I think I've been drowning it for so long that I can guess.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Put on your prettiest face for the masses.
Thank you, Drama. Came in a bit late, did you? So the question is, will it be morning or will it be the middle of the night? Apparently it's going to be morning. Nope, not feeling so great. Well, we made it through another night and we are still breathing. I'll call that a win. So, it's just the window, the couch, the mirror, and the door. I could probably look at the window again. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. Look out!
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Well, it's the same as it ever was. Let's go out and face the day. I wonder. Nope. Can't interact with that door. Alright, onwards and downwards. Off to the second loading screen of the day. This one is much fancier than the previous one, though. Can't put more points in a skill? Drugs raise learning caps, but they're bad for your health. And Kim has returned. And what is going on here? There appear to be more officers here. Good morning, Kim. Who are these people? Well, I'll try talking to Kim first.
Yes?
Okay. Nothing new here, so... Sorry to waste your time, Kim. Well, let's try talking to the new officers here.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
Oh, she knows me.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
Then why are you here?
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Okay, so we have, hold on, you're a patrol officer of the RCM? I'm on a murder investigation. Are you the cavalry? Is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me? Which is a proceed, or fine, I'm leaving, and storm off. Hold on, you're a patrol officer?
Yes, I am.
Oh, she really doesn't want to talk to me. That's opened up, I'm a cop too. But no. Are you the cavalry?
I'm definitely not the cavalry.
Why don't you want to talk to me then?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
Why are you even here? Have I wronged you? I've done that to a lot of people. It's cool to see another cop. I thought Kim and I were the only ones. Let's do this by the book, okay? Why? I bring word of the end to come. Well, I can't use the last one because I haven't really been playing that way as yet. Let's just do this by the book.
By the...
She pinches the root of her nose.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
To know why you're here.
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
So what precinct are you from? You're the police, right? Cool, so am I. Or, okay, goodbye. What precinct are you from? What precinct? She just sighs. Man with sunglasses. Fucking deranged lunatic. The sunglass-wearing man pushes through his teeth. I'm guessing they're from my...
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
That's not helpful. Alright, goodbye. Why are you even here? Maybe the guy who thinks I'm a deranged lunatic will tell me. What about you?
You look like shit.
Your ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Oh boy, lots of options. You look like shit, asshole. I don't look like shit. I know it's intentional. The last couple of days have been rough. Looks don't matter, it's what on the inside that does. I'm never going to get this case solved. While I agree with the last one, it's probably not what I'm going to say at this point. I know it's intentional.
Like undercover?
Sure.
Well, as far as disguises go, this is one of the best I've seen. I mean, I could swear you're an actual bum.
Well, that's just mean. I'm wearing my police cape and everything.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
Why are you here?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face.
That's not actually very helpful, but thank you.
He might be wearing a disguise.
Cool shades, are you wearing a disguise? Kim, who is this guy? An esprit de corps challenging challenge. There's something strange about this guy, figure it out. Got some questions for you, I'm a cop. Or, okay then, see you around. Okay, so, I have a 28% chance because I called my station. That gives me a whole +1. I'ma try it. First challenge of the night. Here goes, 28%. Success! You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him. Tell me the truth. Do you know me from somewhere? Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere. Yeah, he's... They're from my station. They're from the same station. Another life. Thank you, Esprit de Corps. From where? Another life? Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... He pauses. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Oh no, I didn't write this down. 41st? 57th? 69. 9... 9th? I can't read that word, I'm laughing too much. 99 million. Oh, wait. That's a point in there. I give up. Never mind, this is stupid. I'm going to say the 41st. That sounds right. Yay, I got experience. Okay, the man sounds genuinely excited. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're getting somewhere. He gives you a long, meaningful look and adds, somewhere good. Let's talk more about that hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned. Cool shades, are you wearing a disguise? Kim, who is this guy? Got some questions for you. Let's talk more about that hypothetical. Let's do it. Oh, the hypothetical 4-1. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. He blinks aggressively. I'm not busy. You're not busy. Let's just play around. Why are you here? Why can I not ask? So what would our relationship be in this alternate universe? Do you have a crime to solve? Who else is in our imaginary police station? Or I can't imagine it anymore. Do you have a crime to solve? Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other, better cops solve crimes, and let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work. I sense sarcasm. And the woman, this isn't helping, she says, shaking her head and looking at the man with sunglasses disapprovingly. So what would our relationship be? Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? Like partners in crime, or... You seem like a cool guy. I'd love to have you as my partner. You seem like a bit of a drag. No offense, but I could do better. Or Kim's cooler than you. as much as I want to say that Kim is cooler than him, I don't know, you seem cool. Would you now? Or would I be cramping your style? The man bites his lip, then waves his hand. Never mind, partner. Okay, actually you probably would cramp my style. No, you wouldn't cramp my style at all. Actually, I shouldn't have called you my partner. Kim's my partner. He's going to know. I have a feeling that this guy was indeed my partner back at the 41st. I hope I got that right. And that I stormed off here alone after an argument with him would be my guess. And then promptly started trying to drink myself to death, so I'm not so sure anything went well. I don't know this guy well enough to say whether or not he would cramp my style, so Kim's my partner. He's going to know. I'm not your partner, he says quickly. This union is temporary. A little premonition for you, Lieutenant. Sooner or later, probably sooner, your new friend tells you he doesn't need you. He will then suggest you should fuck off. When that happens, I suggest you take his advice, he adds bitterly. Kim. The lieutenant merely bows his head in response. Well, who else is there besides this woman who doesn't want to talk to me? You're not going to believe this, but the man pauses for dramatic effect. Police officers! Yes, sir, solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and, get this, and not getting their drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular, boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lung. What? Who the heck is that? Or where did that come from? Please, tell me how I got that nickname. Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. He winks at you sarcastically. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Want to tell me more about him? Or her? Not even a little bit. Why are you here? Kim, it's an urban myth, the lieutenant says quietly, about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You're not the son of Lung.
Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
All right. Bye. Except not really bye. I can't imagine it anymore. Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. His gray eyes suddenly flash above the glass frames. They feel sad. Got some questions for you. About what? You don't look like a cop. He inspects you. You know who you look like? Oh joy. Like a prophet? Like a revolutionary? Like a sack of shit? Like Guillaume de... I don't know, you tell me. Like a man down on his luck? I'm trying real hard here, man. I don't know, you tell me. I don't know. He taps on his forehead, thinking. A sad stack of shit next to someone far more proficient? Why are you here? Will you answer some questions? No, he says calmly, and just keeps staring at you. Why not? Don't you have to? Or fine. Why not? Why not? 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things? Let's talk about something else then. You want to hear me say things? Actually, I don't want to hear you say things. Why are you here? Come on, Jean. Okay, say things. He adopts a lighter tone. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one.
Yay, success.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm doing this investigation. A man is hanged. Okay, I'm doing this investigation, and it turns out he was shot and hanged. Yes, that one, because that's the truth. You think he was hanged as a cover-up to hide the shooting? Basically, yes. Hey, why am I telling you this? Basically, yes. Okay, well, he corrects his blonde wig. His hair. He corrects his hair. Why am I telling you this? I don't know. Why are you? He gives you an odd look.
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange.
Oh my god, there's more. He looks at you in disbelief. You want something more. What is it? Kim, who is this guy? He shakes his head. I'm not getting involved in this. Yep. Let's talk about the hanged man again, then. I will get you to tell me why you're here. Okay, why not? Let's do the whole thing over again. We're not wasting time. There is no time. He was shot and hanged. Yes. It's the same thing. Okay then, see you around. This is weirding me out. Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Aha, thank you, Perception. I knew I put all those points in you for something. I recognize that voice. Wait, your voice, I recognize it. It's probably nothing, leave. No, I recognize that voice. Oh, really? I wonder where. I lost my badge recently. When I called in to report it missing, you were there. That's where you remember me from? Yes, I haven't seen you before. Maybe? I have a bit of point to your head memory trouble. Yeah, I haven't seen you before, bewigged, high-classed man. Okay then, it's probably a coincidence. People sound alike. Goodbye. Oh boy. That's a thought bubble. Okay, the man with the sunglasses in his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? I know, super weird. I guess it was kind of weird, yes. No, this whole interaction was perfectly normal. Frankly, I'm way past caring or wondering. I guess it was kind of weird, yes. There's something we're missing here. Something we can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. I was thinking the same thing. I should just ask him if we're from the same station. It's impossible. I don't want to waste my time. Oh no, I have nothing but time to waste. I should just ask him. Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though. Alright then, back into conversation with the man who doesn't want to talk to me and the woman who doesn't want to talk to me. Again?
I can't believe this shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he really is having trouble believing this shit.
He might be wearing a disguise.
Look, I just have to ask, are we from the same police station? I'm going to say no, just to see what you'll say to that. What do you say? Okay? Or, yeah, probably not. I don't remember you from anywhere. Okay. Okay? Woman. John, he said okay. Give it a rest. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of the kind, not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again. Oh no, cool shades. Yes, it's a hobby of mine. He looks at you inquisitively.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening though. Who is this guy?
I have a feeling my esprit de corps is not high enough to deal with this conversation. Alright, bye. Fun. That was fun. Nice talk.
Can I help you?
Yes, indeed. About my bill for tonight. Got the 20? Yes, 20 for the night. Good, you got the room for the night, but remember, you need another 20 real tomorrow. I really hope that this investigation isn't going to take that long, but thank you.
How could anyone forget, asshole?
Turning up Half-Light was an interesting choice, apparently. Alright, off we go. Assholes, assholes, everybody's assholes. Let's talk to the cryptozoologist's wife. She's nice.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Oh dear. Yeah, I've got that thing where it won't scroll down. That's unfortunate. Alright, what is this expedition your husband was on? Just some field work, sweetie. Morel's a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast, across the waterlock, to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. She sighs. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Yeah, the waterlock was broken. I've been over this before. Oh my, what happened to the waterlock? I'll just follow the same path that I did before. It worked out well that time. Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
It gets less vanilla the more I investigate it, but yeah, say, sure, okay. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's being repaired, and it's cold out there. Yes, if I see him, I will let him know. And I have a medium suggestion of getting her to tell me about some cool cryptids. 28% from less worried about husband, and +1 from having the green ape pen. But I'm not actually interested in going over that right now. Thank you. I did that in a previous session. I don't remember exactly which one, but... Oh, this is interesting. There's a green dot in here where there was not a green dot before. The tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. That's skill. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. Do you know what's behind the door? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself.
Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Well, I asked again. Stay masculine. I don't suppose anything has changed about the door today. See a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. Try to push on the door. The door does not budge. Touch the door. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side.
Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
Alright. Sadly, the pry bar does not help here. There is definitely a way through that door. I just... Oh, the Hardy Boys are still here. That's excellent. It's all about money, you know. Well, I don't actually want to talk to the Hardy Boys today. So we're going to save, and we're going to go outside. This is going to be a very long loading screen. Going outside for the first time is always the longest load. But yes, the main thing that I want to do at this point is try to talk to the lorry driver with my brand new point in Half-Life and see if I get any further on that check with him. I'm very much hoping that it will. And it's snowing. I could make an attempt with Kuno, but... You know what? Now that I think about it, I wonder if the 41st are going to tell me what the heck those two are doing here. Inside you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. Pick up that radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Okay, first of all, did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Absolutely, Alice. Thank you. The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand. Shoot, or I was born ready, baby. Shoot. The suit of armor was issued to an Orangese citizen named Ellis Courtenaire. That's Elliskourtenaer. Exact date of birth unknown. He was signed up into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, '09. Neonatal Care Unit? He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Isbrad Military Academy in Vradeport at 17, then served in the Orangese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the 70s conflict. Then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did, and that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor? Any information on his foster parents? So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor. Well, we have his name and service record now, which is a move on. A leaf compactor? It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files, so I thought it would be good for you to know. Kim, it is. Thank you, Alice. Any information on his foster parents? None, officer. Sorry. So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor. Kim, even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. He leans closer and shouts, "Thank you, Alice. Good work." "No problem, Lieutenant." She sounds pleased. Well, we have his name and service record now. Whoa! 70 experience. Nice. A name. This is very good. Ellis Courtenaire, he says to himself. Alice, I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? Reconnect me to the 41st, Alice. She sighs. Right. Please hold.
10-4, come in. Fireworker. Over.
Okay. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss. Well, not exactly what I wanted to ask, but let's follow this a little ways. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to requests for personal information. Over. You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me! Or understood. But I'm me! 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. These two, did you send them? Personal details I'd like to discuss. Under orders, understood? 10-4. Anything else, sir? Over. Darn it. Alright, bye. Roger that, 10-10, over and out. With those words, the cabin becomes silent again, the radio microphone resting on its hook. Close the door. Okay. Okay, those two have been sent to assess my mental health, and I failed. Let's go talk to the lorry driver. Although, let's actually... What we have here... Oh yes, the Find Morel has been updated. She's still worried he hasn't come back. Let him... Yeah, okay. And I finished the quest for tracking down who the victim was. Which the game will hopefully now remember because I have promptly forgotten. As if I need to figure out, I will rewatch my VOD. Okay. First stop. This terrible person. Sir? Although I hesitate to call you that.
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Alright, Half-Life Formidable 13, make him tell me. It's now at 58%, plus 2 from Kim's bluff, plus 1 from saw me stooping in his cabin, and a minus 1 from having told him to fuck off because he's a racist. We're gonna try it anyway, 58%, here goes! Success. Men like this only respect two things, strength and fear. Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry, where is it? She's the one who's apparently running the drugs, if it's not this guy. So, which one? And I've got him by the neck. Fuck you, I told you I'm not gonna... There, his voice grows smaller as yours. I'm gonna fuck you for the rest of my life, you understand? I'm gonna put you in a cell with a giant kipped. You're gonna be bleeding kipped dick, you hear me? Wow. I've been to your fucking lorry. I know where it is. Point to it. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me? What's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Madra to fuck off. Oh, this is a tough one. Do I go with the lead off from Kim's bluff earlier, which is the Madra one, or do I threaten to burn down his lorry? Let's follow Kim's bluff. Let's follow Kim's bluff. I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Madra to fuck off. Look, fuck you, man. He tries to wave you off. It's some lorry down there, green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is. Kim, when did she go away? Lorry driver, I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days. Where exactly is her lorry? Past the monument, down there. He waves south. The green tempo. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay? Kim. A small tempo by the monument, green. He turns to you. Let's get into that lorry. I could ask him what he's hauling again, but right, I'm going. Well, that was a much better roll than I thought it would be. Okay, so we've updated the jam mystery. And I can cross that half-life check off of my list of things to remember. That feels good. So that leaves me choosing for this point that I just got, whether to work on a new thought, whether to go for another point in perception, or whether to raise a rhetoric check. And I'm going to sit on this point, I think, for now. I'm going to follow this drug investigation and see where it leads, whether or not I get another check with the Hardy Boys after having learned more. So, I'm quite pleased. I'm very pleased. This is excellent. I keep trying to use WASD to move. Wait, if I go around this way, I think it's a little bit shorter. It was snowing and now it's raining. This really does feel like Toronto in March. Oh, and I should probably go back into the dockyard at some point and let Everard know. So we're looking for a green one, although in this lighting, who could tell? A green one over by the monument, huh? Wait a minute. This one's green-ish. Doesn't light up though. No, it's probably not that one. It's probably not her. Wait a minute, there's one that lights up. There we go. I knew I'd find it if I kept hitting tab. This green Faln AZ Contemporain is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days. This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying. The lieutenant peeks inside. Try to peek in the window. Try the door handle. How are we going to get this open, Kim? Try to peek in the window. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them.
Interesting. Well, try the door handle. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
That's helpful interfacing, but not good news. How are we going to get this open, Kim? Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. Really? Or good idea? Good idea! I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer. Minus 10 from tool not equipped. Let's leave and equip that pry bar. Hello? Where's the pry bar? There it is. One pry bar in hand. And we'll go again. are now at 17% because I'm holding the pry bar. Oh boy. Cross fingers, cross toes, cross anything you can cross. Failure. Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spiderweb on the glass. Good evening, Ezra. How are things going?
Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
I hope you've had a good weekend. Alright. The window appears to be shatterproof. I'm sorry it didn't happen, or really? Hit it again. The window appears to be shatterproof, Kim. No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that. He takes the pry bar from you and gestures for you to step back. Then, with little warning, he smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can reach in now. Yes, yes, Ezra, I do remember you mentioning that you had moved, although I don't remember you mentioning that it had been for a job. Still, congratulations on the job. I take it you weren't able to get in any playtime while you were busy moving and setting up for the new job and all that sort. I am investigating drugs now as well as a murder. And of course, if you'll give me one moment here we go. If you go to the YouTube channel, you can find all of my previous play sessions, even the ones that aren't available on Twitch anymore because they'd aged out. There's a whole playlist set up of them there. It updates every Friday. Oh, you can do things in all sorts of orders in this game, depending on where you go and what you do. Alright, nice, or just open the door from the inside? Nice. He nods and gives you the tool back. It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside. Open the door, please don't slice yourself.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Interesting. Why all the tools?
There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Ah, interesting. I guess I didn't raise my perception as much as I did for nothing. Hurrah. Alright. Let's make it so that the check is not covering up everything. Admire the posters, examine the radio, check the pedals, peel off the cover on the passenger seat, pull out the pull-out toolbox, or close the door. Obviously, the most interesting thing is the cover thing going on with the seats, so I'm going to save that for later. Admire the posters. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Stop and wonder, what's that smell? Study the centerfold. Enough of the posters. What is that smell? The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably going out to number 5. Study the centerfold. Oh ho. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera.
This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Oh. What happened to her? She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. Well, enough of the posters, then. The actress and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. Okay, pull out the pull-out toolbox. Oh my, I did not expect that to make a noise. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. Unfold the newspaper. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. Oh ho! Pick up the note. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system. Kim, the lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note. The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but his thought trails off. All right, push that back in.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows.
Examine the radio. Yes, I am putting off checking the passenger seat. Thank you. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key is being removed, likely by the missing lady driver. The lieutenant leans closer to the radio and hums. Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. What about the Speed Freaks FM? Is it one of the saved stations here? Why would anyone need so many radio stations? Apologies for the bleep in the background there. I forgot to turn that off. Is there anything we can do with the radio? Or what else is here? Why would anyone need so many radio stations? For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. He flicks a switch on the radio. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we're dealing with an impressive organizational tool, the nerve center of a huge operation, with quite the range, too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with it? Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. Clever. Alright, what else is here? The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover. I know, it keeps telling me. It's getting impatient. Fine. Peel off the cover. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. Is Revocol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen. Kim, bon prise. The lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. Open up the topmost map. Or return the papers. No, I'm not going to return the papers. I'm keeping them. They're mine now. This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all.
There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mess of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where does the road lead? Fold open the second map, return the papers. Well, still not returning the papers. Where does it go? To Couronne through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. Alright, open up the second map. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, Old Military Hospital, right adjacent to the 41st Precinct. Oh boy.
Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own.
What is this sound? Look at the third map. Or return the papers. Still not returning them. What is this sound? The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gas lights. Look at the third map. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake.
These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
The smugglers have infiltrated the motor tract. So it would seem. The lieutenant examines the maps with a furrowed brow. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Where does the contraband end up? Who do you think is behind this? Return the stack of papers under the seat. No, I'm not done with them yet. Stop prompting me. Who do you think is behind this? It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation is spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madra remains the most likely suspect. He's bad news. The lieutenant removes his glasses and polishes them with a handkerchief. There have been attempts at serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it.
Oof.
Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know is there.
You know, since I put that point in you, Half-Life, you just want to talk all the time, don't you? Alright, where does the contraband end up? Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. Besmerti? That sounds vaguely familiar. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, just to, mea culpa. A Besmerti is a Revicolian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revicolian Indo tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revicol. With cool names, he adds with contempt, like La Puta Madre and Ahura Mazda. It's a dark parody. Alright, I can do nothing but return the papers to under the seat. I don't know why I can't keep them. Best not to disturb the scene, the lieutenant nods. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later. Disturb the scene? After we broke the window to get inside, I believe it is plenty disturbed. The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. Well, as long as I'm here, I'm going to check the pedals. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip, or look around the cabin again. No, let's just say what I saw. Sandpaper? The lieutenant repeats. A novel technique. The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole. Aha! Yes, he likes where this is going. I like where this is going. Oh, I'm detectiving. One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other. I remembered that. I remembered a thing. All on my own. It wasn't part of my notes or anything. I'm so pleased. Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. Wait, the missing 8th Hardy, here, and she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Or, women, shake your head. Always up to something. Well, I'm not going to do that one, because last time I checked I was one of them. Yep, still am. How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Those jerks, definitely. I think the entire Union is involved, maybe even all of Martinez. Look around suspiciously. Not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. Or this would fit with what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. No, I'm going to go with number 4 here. This fits with what Joyce told us. Confront the Hardy boys about the drug trade. Oh boy. I just keep having things to confront them about. What fun. Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. He writes something down into his little notebook. Are we finished with the lorry? The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air. Well, I have checked everything it allows me to check, so yes, I do believe we are. Close the door. Great, I think we got everything. A word, detective. He steps away from the lorry before we return to Joyce. Oh, yes, I definitely think we should talk before returning to Joyce. And I think I'm going to save on top of that autosave, just in case, because I am paranoia living.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Very important. That's why we're doing it here, where nobody can overhear us, I think. Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim? I don't think there's anything to discuss. Let's go. What do you think of this, Kim? Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
That makes very good sense, yes. I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Yes, especially since I admitted that I'd lost my badge. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for. What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this? So it turns out this is connected to the Union. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? So it turns out this is connected to the Union. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically, but don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to any other ends, as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
That is very true. What about the movie posters? How do they factor into this? Or will the RCM open investigation? I don't think the movie posters factor at all, so we're just going to move on to asking whether or not the RCM is going to open an investigation. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we're done for the day, I'll call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we're done here, we do not want to get caught in that. He stops to think. What are you thinking? The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madra grouping is involved. And I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. Corruption? He nods. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Fine, I'll ask about the movie posters. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile. Could the film industry be involved? Well, that last one is a dumb question. A lot of women there. Yes, well, he doesn't say more. I agree with Kim. It was a dumb question to start with. Alright, debrief over? Debrief over, he nods. After you. Those should have been 3 separate sentences. That is unfortunate, but okay. Alright. Let us put the pry bar back in our inventory. Because just wandering around with that thing out does not seem to be the best idea to me. And we will check this out. Alright, we are now on report back to Joyce. Excellent. And we have a new quest to confront the Hardy Boys about the drug trade. A person present at the lynching is also involved with the drug trade through the harbor, which links them to the Hardy Boys. See what Titus has to say about that. And maybe that will give me another chance at that rhetoric check without having to put a point in rhetoric. But first, let's go talk to Everard. I believe that I am going to try to avoid bringing up the drug trade thing with Everard. But I did do that favor for him. So, I think it's time the two of us had another talk. Ooh, what's this? Hypnogamma, +3 morale. Oh, a healing item. Much stronger than the ones I've found before. I may need it after a conversation with Everard. He did a number on me last time. Alright, so we will save. And off into another loading screen we go. Alright, so the question at this point is the murder associated in some way with this drug trade that we just found out about? Did our mercenary stumble upon something he wasn't supposed to see and got shot for it, and then the Hardy Boys covered it up because, well, the drug runner is their companion, friend, compadre? That seems a little too easy, though, for this game. This game seems to like to make things just bend slightly sideways from what you expected to happen. I'm also still curious how this man ended up getting shot in the roof of the mouth with a rifle. It's in a, doesn't make a lot of sense. Also, how underpowered was the rifle that it didn't blow the top of his head off? I do not know. Well, we have a new thing here. What is this? First we save, and then we look. Book, La Fumée, Volume 1, Number 4. It's okay. I'm not going to read it, but let's have a look. The leading intellectual organ of Martinet's communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Frizzell with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Okay, how'd this get here? I doubt anything has changed with it, but let's check the drawer. The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Sliding out a drawer presents you the folders you already went through. On top of them is the handwritten note. Nope, everything is the same, alas. Alright, close the drawer. Thank you. Anything new in here? Nope. Alright, so we'll save again and enter another loading screen, which will hopefully be shorter than last time I went outside because we'd already loaded that today. Here's hoping. yes, mysteries piling on top of mysteries. I'm kind of glad that this one has run together with the primary one in a way, if only because that reduces the number of people I need to keep track of. I hear rain. I don't see rain, but I can hear it. See a container you can't open? Equip a pry bar. Well, that would be great, except that the one container that I hadn't been able to open that I wanted to, the pry bar doesn't work on. I'm still very curious about what's in that shipping container, simply because of the way that the game, implies that I ought to be able to get in there. But I doubt I'm going to be able to get in there today, any more so than I did the last time I was at the harbor. But a girl can dream. I have so many dreams. I dream of someday no longer seeing this loading screen, for one. But I also dream of seeing the other side of the harbor, which I am starting to doubt is going to happen during this play session, but since it's Wednesday in the game, it'll certainly happen. It's definitely going to happen. Alright, that's everything down in the yard down there that I can't get to from here. So I'm just going to start my day by raiding this giant pile of bottles. I am somehow doubtful that that this is going to actually pay my rent for Thursday, but I still hold out hope that perhaps, maybe, I might finish this investigation on the Wednesday? Or maybe on the Thursday, and I won't have to worry? So many bottles here. Okay. Now that I've picked up all that stuff, this is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads Rene Arnoux. Have a seat and rest or leave. No, I don't need to rest. It is only 8:43 in the morning in this. Hold up. What is that down there? How does one get there? Interesting. How does one get there? Interesting. I don't remember if I noticed that door before. Okay. This is taking forever because it's, round and sideways. Ah, the shipping container's being lifted up again. How interesting. A resting control panel with several knobs. The words marche and arrête are very, very slightly even more faded with use. Marche. No screech of metal when you push the button this time, only silence as the crane remains in its state of dormancy. What? Press marche. Press arrête. The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all. Somebody depowered the crane to prevent me from fooling around with the shipping crate. Except that it's still here, so You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. This is still an impossible 18 with an 8% chance. +1 for erratic yet thorough, and +1 for being in the world for 2 days. I'ma try it. Here goes. 8%. We're trying it. Failure. And as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind? Alright, we'll go. We'll get you next time, Gadget. Okay. Our handyman about the yard does not appear to be here. It's just as well, it's snowing now. Oh, no, wait, there he is. In the snow and the cold. Does he have anything to say today? Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk to old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larish said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back. Leo, in the future, can we keep this greeting shorter? I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble. Let's ask him some questions. I don't want to ask him to make the greeting shorter. I like it.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
And these are all things that I have asked before. I'm going to ask him what's in the container again anyway. Oh, that one. He looks at the container. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Told you, says Kim again. Alright, thank you, Leo. Good man. Perhaps a little too loyal to a scumbag, but good man. And once the quick save is complete, off into another load screen. I've really spent a lot of time with load screens today. Alas. Most people settle for bed after 2100 or not long after. At night, the streets are emptier. By 0200, everyone's asleep. I'm sure it's telling me this because, you know, I might want to sneak around well after everyone's gone to sleep and rifle some things and or steal some armored boots that I no longer have access to, but... Without the boots to sneak off for, I can't really think of anything else that I would need to be sneaking off for. Perhaps, you know, not taking Kim with me to Frita when I turn in my trash, but that's just a courtesy thing. It's not really I'm trying to hide this. It's not as if I'm hiding the plastic bag. And heck, I'm holding it out proudly and showing it to people. Okay, why does we're having a little issue here. For some reason my OBS wanted to be on top, and only on top. But we made it inside somehow. I wonder what he's typing. And there is nothing in his office to interact with but him. That makes me sad. I'm going to try my hardest to not sit down this time.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Oh, thank you, you terrible man. I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. I opened the door you asked me, can we discuss the murder now? And if there's anything else, I don't know because it won't let me scroll down. But can we discuss the murder now? 70 experience. Nice. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry, he says with a smile. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? I'm going to lie, if I can.
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs. I did go inside. Weasel had the flag of the old Revocol on his wall. The deal wasn't for me to go inside, so I didn't. I'm going to try to lie to him, but, I want to lie to him. Let's tell him about the collection of racist mugs, not the flag of old Rivacol. I may have seen a collection of racist mugs. Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. Blech. What are words? Can I speak English? What a weasel. He shakes his head, pissing on Everett's rainbow of coalition. He was testing you, and you succeeded. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. He pretends to roll up his sleeves. Real police work is going to start happening now, I promise you, Harry. This is going to be good. The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hanged man's clothes. I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to know what you think about it. Oh. Let's chase down the connection between the lynching and the strike. By now, I'm sure you figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. I'm listening. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. Plural? Armed mercenaries? Because so far, there's only been the one. Kim, you mean our victim? Everard, he nods gravely, a security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. Well, that's certainly evocative phrasing, I'll give you that.
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yassault, Semenine, Saramazira, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revocol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Hold on, you have a village elephant? Go on. I think I've heard enough. No, let's see if we can derail his rhetoric. Hold on, you have a village elephant? No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Ugh, alright, go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. He laughs. Wait, they move the container or go on? No, they move it? The container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. There's no padding. Everything must slide around horribly. This is a terrible plan. But enough about me and my fun container. His face turns serious. The killers the company hired. I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. 3? And where are the other 2 then? One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. He shakes his head. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees. Kim, by negotiator, you mean Joyce? Everard. Harry, he says, ignoring the lieutenant, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, he raises his finger, we push to kill. Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it? Or who exactly did the pushing? Don't be stupid in front of this man. Who exactly did the pushing? There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. Enforcers.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Very much so.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime. Which, yes, you're running the Union like it's organized crime. Kim, so these idealists killed our victim? Mm-hmm. One day, Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." Are you kidding me? He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. He chuckles. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Kim, aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Everard. Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. He chuckles. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Yep, you definitely did. She's definitely been looking after them. Yes.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
Alright, the mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash with the hanged man's clothes. I want to hear again about how the strike and lynching are concerned. There was a bullet in the hanged man's head. How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? You mentioned a lawyer girl? Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew. And good talk, let's conclude for now. Tell me about Titus Hardy. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them, exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement, core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. He starts laughing. Gotta love his initiative. Kim, interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
That absolutely was not answering the question. Work with them, hell, interview them, but don't fight them. They really are just like you, men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. You mentioned a lawyer girl. Oh, Liz is a bright one. He grins broadly. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy, but hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
Did you send her to spy on me dressed as a gardener, or better not mention it? Well, let's ask outright. Let's see what he says. Did you send her to spy on me? Interesting. That's a lot. Got another level up. That's 2 points I have to think about. I did that, didn't I? He snickers. She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. I hope it's a phase. You know, I didn't get that impression about her at all. I think you're trying to spoon-feed me some shit. How do you know that the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. He slams his fist on the desk. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' rights to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding, and I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. Your gates. Kim, so you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. The name of the company is Cornell this time. It might have been Sediment before, or another question. Now let's share a little information. The name of the company is Cornell. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Oh, I'm sure. I actually don't want to ask him to make the Hardys cooperate with me. So let's follow the mug thing. I found a similar mug in the trash. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? He grabs his head with both hands. You guys are just light years ahead of me. Oh, that's I am so thoroughly buttered that if anyone tries to grab me, I will shoot to the moon. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people with the power of politics. Kim, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder? Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. He shakes his head, laughing.
All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. The fuck you say?
Oddly, it seems to be true.
But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody, just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel? Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? He imitates bashing something with an imaginary baton. Great technique, you'd make a great surgeon. There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary baton, or say nothing. Oh, absolutely nothing. Say nothing, just stare disapprovingly, I hope. Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very, very befitting a police officer. He bows slightly in his chair. I'm not a real detective. You are. Not going to tell him about the bullet. Not going to ask him to make the Hardys cooperate. Let's conclude. Was it a good talk? He leans back, suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him. But it's like I can't completely trust you yet. Yet. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left, he says, slowly shaking his head. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Empathy, you're full of shit. I am not a man of the left. I'm a patriot of Rivercall. You're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. This is another corrupt scheme, isn't it? I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do. I'm a patriot. Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. He immediately changes course. It's all about power, and here's how we're gonna get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry. Oh, no.
Kingsman? Yes. Please, let's be that.
Oh, not to the Union slime. Not to the slime. Please, not to the slime. Kim, and what would this entail? Everard, once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. He pulls out an envelope, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
He thinks he can force you into his scheme. You can turn this around on him if you accept.
Interfacing? What are you... Kim, what do you think of this? What are the signatures for? Fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask them. No, I'm not going to do this. What are they for? What are you going to tell me? I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. He grins broadly. It will be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. I very much doubt it. Have you met Kuno? I bet you haven't. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. Where is this place exactly, and what will happen to the current occupants? Where is this place exactly? On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
What will happen to the current occupants? They're just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings, right next to a fancy new youth center designed by the best architects from Stella Maris.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless? Or sounds like everybody wins? 100% sure, Everard? Am I? The big man shakes his head in disbelief. Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. You lie! We're gonna build a youth center there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to stay in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbor. What do you think, Kim? It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful. He studies Everard. As I said, it weighs on me heavily. He bows his head in shame, then looks up and smiles. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Oh, definitely. All right, if I happen to be there. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. He hands you an open white envelope. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now.
Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot.
He runs his fingers through his thin hair. Okay. We have I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade. I've just finished investigating the local drug trade. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Let's talk about my lost gun. Can we go over a few details concerning the murder again? It turns out the strikers are being served an alcoholic brew. I made it even stronger. Or I met Joyce, the company representative, as the new things. And none of these are actually things that I want to go over with this man. So, I'm going to go. Bye, Everard. See you soon, Debardier. The big man raises his hand in farewell. Just kidding, but not too much. I dislike him. Endurance. It's clear you like the hard stuff, brother. The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling. What is my lower intestine going on about? Or discard the thought. Oh, no. What is my lower intestine going on about? Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system. Okay, but what's the hard stuff? Cassism, brother. Oh, no. What is it, though? Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about it. I'm avoiding saying the word because I know that I pronounce it incorrectly. I cannot make myself pronounce it correctly, and I am actually a little annoyed at myself about it. Alright, what is it? Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Rivicole's problems? Foreigners, financiers, leftist academians, liberals. I thought you were my circulatory system? I thought you were my circulatory system. Quit stalling, brother. We were talking about the weakest, worst, most inane thing. The weak link. Oh, really? Liberals? Yes, them, but also woman. Woman? Woman, men of woe. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed. What? Where is this coming from? What does this have to do with that political term I can't pronounce? That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important, but the main thing is that women need to know their place? Am I having some kind of stomach seizure? Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Why? Why? Why am I getting this? Because you've said the hard things that others wouldn't say. The good things. You've said them many times. No, I have not. Ugh. I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind. I've made up my mind. You're going to keep your vows, right? Keep your vows, brother. I will keep my vows for the glory of the Revicolian nation. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be played by an upset stomach. I am not going against... I am not trying to send myself back to the kitchen. This is not a thing I am doing. This is me, the player, rejecting this entirely. Opting out. There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It's one of betrayal and disappointment. Well, my endurance isn't very strong anyway. It can growl all it wants. It is quite powerless here. Alright, we're just going to step out into the antechamber here. Now, we have picked up get 2 signatures for Everard. Get Isabel and Lillian in the nameless fishing village down the coast to sign Everard's document. Once the signatures are secured, mail the document to Everard's accountant using the mailbox in the plaza in front of the Whirling. But what if I don't do that? And we have a white envelope. A white envelope with a stamp attached to the upper right corner, handed to you by Everard Clare. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names printed on them, Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Both signatures are required. Okay. I'm just going to save, just in case. I don't intend to save scum, but you never know what's going to cause a crash. What happens if we interact with the envelope? You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period, a 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plans in the addendum. Look at the zoning plan. Kim, what do you think of this? A medium logic challenge of trying to find a loophole, or put the documents back in. That is a 72% chance, but I'm going to look at the other stuff first. Look at the zoning plan. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. Is this really a youth center?
It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall. practically integrating them into the youth center.
Is that so?
This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say.
Ha 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 ha.
My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Let's see. Center's very close to houses, ominous shape, cool, cubic pyrite. Kim, what do you think of this? I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine, the lieutenant replies, slipping through the documents. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but he shrugs.
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
I don't know that I agree with the rhetoric on that one. We're going to try this logic check. 83%. Let's go. Success. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Wait, what are the ramifications of this? Look, Kim, point to the photocopy. These people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it? The noise will be tough on the villagers, but I guess that's just the cost of progress. Now, what are the ramifications of this? Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out. Look at this, Kim. So can't we do something about it? I should have seen it. The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again. Everard probably has eyes on us, but he pauses to think. We could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we can do anything. Everard won't believe you got villagers' signatures if you can't even get to the village. He shrugs. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock. This is a good plan. I like this plan, Kim. Thank you. Put the documents back. Okay, and that has updated the quest. Now I can either have someone random sign the document, or I can forge the signatures myself. Forge the signatures, but somewhere private where you feel safe enough to sleep. Is that supposed to be a hint, or is that supposed to be a club over the head? Why does that keep going back to the wash off the death smell whenever I go there? In any case, it is now 12:20. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step outside so that the longest loading will be the first thing done, and then I will sign off for the evening, night, whatever it is. But basically I'm putting the end of the stream through the incredibly long loading screens so that I don't have to do it next week, because I've been outside three times so far this session, which means that it's much faster right at the moment. So here we are back outside. There are no bottles or anything to grab while I'm here, alas. Although maybe over here? No, I already raided this box. So I'm just going to go and stand by the shipping crate in frustrated desire. Because that's just the kind of person that I am. And we will save off here. A proper save rather than a quick save this time. There we go. And that is the end of this week's session of Disco Elysium. We actually got a lot done today, even though we made very few stops, but this whole investigation into the drug trade took a giant leap forward from that single point I put into Half-Light, even though it now talks to me. And I have 2 more points to think of where to spend, whether to spend them on thoughts, whether to spend them on that perception check, whether to spend them on that rhetoric check. I think what I actually might do is go talk to Joyce over in the harbor and see what information she gives me after I tell her that I've investigated the drugs, and then hit up the Hardy Boys again. So that is the plan for next week. In the meantime, I will be back on Wednesday at as close to 7 p.m. as we can manage to wrangle everyone together to play Among Us with a group of my writing friends. We have not yet decided whether or not we're going to try proximity chat again, so that will be as much of a surprise for me as it is for any of you on Wednesday. So tune in to find out. And then on Thursday, I will be playing Darkest Dungeon for Try Not to Die Thursday, and I have decided to extend that stream. It's going to run from 7:30 p.m. Eastern to midnight Eastern, instead of to 10:30 like it had before, simply because it just felt like it's been feeling like a really short stream, and I've decided that I can totally go longer. I have enough energy. I can do it. So that will be a longer stream from now on, and I invite anyone to tune in. My Darkest Dungeon game is lightly modded to make the game more interesting, but not to make it too easy, because that is the point of Darkest Dungeon, is to not make things too easy. And I hope to see everyone there, and of course Disco Elysium will be returning next Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be continuing this investigation, which actually might be going somewhere. I hesitate to actually say that aloud where the game can hear me, but it seems to be progressing. This is amazing. I never thought I'd see the day. In the meantime, I hope that everyone has had a great night, and that they continue to have a great night, and that the beginning of the week treats you all well, and good night.